What are the most common sales mistakes that you see sales professionals making over and over again?
Stuart, there's so many, and you pick up on these over the years. One of the most common mistakes people make is they talk too much. They don't actually listen to what the customer is talking about. They're not picking up on clues that these people are expressing and actually giving them a huge amount of information. They're just not listening. Secondly, they're not providing solutions to the customer's requests. I mean, a customer sees you because they see you as a potential solution to an issue or a problem they might have. That might be anything from supply chain issues to good pricing, competitive pricing, something along those lines. And these salespeople are not picking up on the cues. And once you don't pick up on the cues, you're not listening, you're babbling too much telling, and virtually no selling. And the final crucial mistake these people make is to leave that meeting without asking for the business. If you don't ask for the business, Stuart, you're actually nowadays lucky to even get a sniff of the business. So you have to get some commitment. You may not get a sale in that meeting. However, you just need continuity, and you need to get commitment either for another meeting, or if there are some actions, follow up on these things. And that's another crucial mistake a lot of salespeople make. I mean, we can delve into that a little bit deeper, but they don't follow up properly. They don't answer questions during the meeting, afterwards. They don't get back to people sometimes at all, or they just, slack, get back to them late. And customers don't like that nowadays.
What's the follow-up process that you used to have for when you were working in the dairy and food industries? Was there a set time in which you would wait before following up with someone again, or was it normally straight away? And what were some of the things that you would do to get a good answer out of someone in order to get that commitment?
Yes. A number of good questions there, Stuart. The first one is, during meetings, you actually do need to take copious notes. You don't want to be impersonal or come across, as if you're not concentrating. However, you need to make that eye contact with the customer, but you need to jot down those key points that need action after the meeting. There may be some things that you can't answer. They may be technical questions that these people ask, and although you might know everything, there'll be one or two things that you don't know, and you undertake during the meeting to tell them you will get back to them. So straight after the meeting, I normally would fire off an email and say, these are the concerns or questions that need answering. I will come back to you as soon as possible, and thank them also, for their time that they invested in meeting with you. And, once you get out of that meeting, contact whoever you need to contact at your company, maybe the technical manager or somebody who has the answers to the questions that were asked, and get back to that customer ASAP. I can't stress this enough. ASAP, as soon as possible. If you do that, it demonstrates to the customer that you're committed to their business, and it builds trust, it builds reliability, it builds credibility. There are a number of other adjectives I could use, but you need to build that relationship. That customer needs to trust you. They need to see you as a resource. And what better way can you get back to a customer than ASAP? They really will think very highly of you if you can do that. And there's a strong likelihood, they will commit to business with you.
Do you think there's a particular reason why certain professions struggle with sales a lot more? For example, a lot of tradie-based businesses like builders, plumbers, electricians. Do you think the fact that they've constantly got a lot of work on and they're having to provide a lot of quotes and so on is one of the reasons why they tend to struggle with the sales process? Or do you think there are other aspects? And what suggestions would you have for them to touch up and polish their sales skills so that they can become more effective at closing deals which their competitors might often take off them?
Stuart, a lot of these people are very good at what they do. They're good tradespeople, but that doesn't actually make them good salespeople. They don't necessarily know how to get commitment from customers. They, because they're so busy, they get back to them much later than they should. And this is very, very annoying for customers. You're sitting there waiting for answers. These answers are not forthcoming. You get more and more frustrated. And guess what? You're going to find somebody else potentially to do the job. And this is where these people slip up. Yes, they're not necessarily good salespeople. Some of them are. They're incredibly busy at the moment. I mean, there's huge demand for, various trades. But some training can go a long way with these people. And tradespeople, listen up. You do need sharpening of your selling skills. Don't ever think you know it all. I've been in sales for more than 3 decades and I'm still learning myself. So, get that training that's necessary. It's going to cost you some money, not a lot, but it will definitely help you to get back to people in a timely manner, listen, to what they're saying, provide those solutions that are necessary, and most of all, get the commitment and close the deal.
Very sound advice, and something which I think a lot of tradies will be able to take forward with them and move ahead with confidence, knowing that they can close more work over the phone. And I think that's something which may often be missed is just the chance to go and have like an on-site inspection. And even if you can't do it today, perhaps saying the next day or the day after that, when there is a window of time to go and do so, because if you can get in front of them first, your chances of actually closing the deal are a lot greater. And that seems to be something else that happens quite a lot too with closing deals that I guess are worthwhile is when you actually show up in front of the person and you shake hands, look them eye to eye, and get that commitment out of it. Do you think that's a mistake that sales professionals can make these days, just trying to do business over the phone when they can actually meet with them in person and form more of a relationship?
Look, I think ever since the pandemic, the COVID pandemic, there's been a preponderance to do things virtually. It might be because somebody's right on the other side of town in a different town or city, or it's inconvenient maybe to have a face-to-face meeting. So whatever the reasons are, if those people are accessible, and even if it takes 35, 40 minutes to get to them, particularly in a big city like Auckland or Wellington and Christchurch, it doesn't matter. People prefer face-to-face meetings. And during those meetings, you can actually look them in the eyeball, you can watch the body language, and you can gauge the commitment or sense of commitment. I think it's way, way easier to close deals when you're sitting in front of people. And I say that if these people are accessible. I know sometimes they're not, and you might have another meeting in a half an hour and you won't be able to get to that person. But try and make it your business actually to make an effort to sit in front of them, because your results will far outshine the small effort that you make to get to them.
Tell us a bit more about your first ever ebook, Selling Smarter.
Look, it was wonderful to write that book. I think to actually just put down a lot of pointers as to what happens in a buyer's head, seller's head, what those exchanges are like, how to make them effective to avoid all those distractions that potentially could happen, and to delve a little bit deeper into the actual psychology of selling. Selling is all about psychology. I mean, people can say what they like. There's a huge amount of psychology that happens in a meeting. People tend to sum you up within literally a few seconds as to whether or not they could trust you, buy from you potentially, whether you're credible, and the pricing and all the marketing stuff, will come afterwards, all the technical information, etc. But it was a good book to write, because I think it's pretty much to the point with a lot of those factors that you need to be cognizant of when you're sitting in front of a procurement person. These people are often incredibly sharp. They don't necessarily want to show you any enthusiasm. I mean, that's part of their strategy. So we delve a little bit into how to overcome some of these obstacles that they put in your way, because they're trying to trip you up. There are competitors, there are other people that offer similar products. Sometimes you're lucky, you might have a product that others don't have. You might have pricing that others don't have. But ultimately, if they can't trust you, they are not going to buy from you. And I go into a lot of key areas in this ebook where we try and make it easier for salespeople to get their points across and to actually get commitment. So yeah, it was a wonderful thing to do. My first ebook, but yeah, I'm quite proud of what I've put down there.
We're with sales trainer Peter Macadam from Macadamy. Once again, thanks for coming onto the channel to discuss a range of different things, particularly around the most common mistakes that people make in sales and how to address them. If you want a copy of Peter's ebook, you can go to the link in the description box down below. It is quite a bargain, only $5 New Zealand dollars, which is like what, $2.50 US at the moment with the current exchange rate, and $4.50 Australian, I think. So an absolute bargain, no matter where you are, and the insights you'll get out of it are quite incredible. And we thank you once again for coming on as a guest.
Thank you, Stuart. It's always wonderful to be talking to you. You have many, good questions that you ask. And I think, ultimately we're here to help sales and business development people sharpen their skills. So all the best. Have a good day. And I look forward to catching up again.